Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Danganronpa Mauve. So, today, I think we're gonna get the victim today because in the last episode, we were given a motive, which was the motive video, as it usually is in chapter 1. And now I'm assuming we're gonna get the victim. I hope soon. I don't know how long this episode's gonna be, probably around an hour. I'm gonna be honest, I have a little bit of a migraine. It's like a lingering migraine. Like I've had it for like a couple of months now. It's been really annoying. But I still did want to play a little bit, even if I can't record for a very long time tonight. I did want to do like a little something. So, yeah. I think that the victim is going to be Iwata. Unfortunately, like I really don't want it to be because like I've grown to really like him, but I really do think that he is, because why else would there have been such a dramatic, like sudden protagonist switch, right? As for who the blackened is gonna be, not a clue. But I think we are in a free time event, so I'm just gonna go to bed. It's a fluffy bed. Once you lay down, you feel like you're going to fall asleep and never wake up again. Would you like to skip? Yeah. I will probably eventually go back and do the free time events. Maybe, I don't know if I'm gonna do it after chapter 1 or if I want to wait till after I finish the whole game. I don't even know if the whole game is out. I think it's just chapter 1 right now. At least that's translated. I don't know if like the game has been finished in Korean either. I don't actually know. There's still plenty of time. Let's go meet someone. Let's not. I was gonna say something, but I forget. Oh. Usually I like to, when I play fangans, I like to have like a 4 videos per chapter. So like there's always, part 4 is always the trial, except now this is part 4 and we haven't gotten the victim yet. So because the prologue was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, and also this chapter is quite long. Like I've been playing this one chapter for a couple hours now, I think. That's pretty long. Usually it, by now it would have kind of gone into more of the deadly life. But I think we're going to get there now. I think we're going to get there soon. I don't know when, but we'll find out. I returned to my room at the end of the day. I still had plenty of time before nighttime, but the thought of another meeting wasn't in my mind. I'm getting tired. The relief that came my way was of the most unexpected kind. Bing bong. Huh? Who's at the door? I don't have any idea. I walked up to the door, paying close enough attention, and twisted the handle. I love him. I'm sorry. Like, I can't. Look at his cute little smile, and he's gonna die, isn't he? Iwata? Yeah, it's me. You might be wondering, why is this person on your doorstep? When I nodded, Iwata pointed his finger at me, or, more accurately, my private room beyond me. Can we talk inside? I don't think I can talk to you in front of the door. Oh, and just so you know, I'm not here to kill you. Trust me, I'm not carrying anything dangerous. Well, I don't know if that's convincing coming from the guy who made all that, big deal. I'm just... Oh, sorry, that's Miyuki. I get confused because when I do the protagonist, I just do my normal voice. So for Iwata, I did my normal voice, and for Miyuki, I did my normal voice. So them talking to each other is... I'm curious to know what you've come to talk to me about. I wish you would keep it simple. Keep it simple. Is that like... Is he being like, hurry up and get out? Huh? That's... an apology, of course. As I said, I was being too hard on you guys. Did you suddenly have a change of heart? Actually, I saw you. Oh. I saw a bit of your clothes slightly and disappeared the moment the door was opened. Huh? Is that like he saw him from the corner of his eye kind of thing? Is that what he's saying? And then my attention was immediately drawn to Misaki and the rest of you guys. So I kind of forgot about that. Is he talking about when we went to his door and he opened the door? Why was Miyuki avoiding me, even though he's right there? Was he up to something? I thought about that for a while, and I came up with an answer. The conclusion was that you disappeared to reassure me. You're right. I had no choice but to act the way I did, because I'd already heard from you how I was perceived. Now that I've changed my mind and decided to join you guys, I think I owe you an apology for that. I realize that, but this is not because I trust you. Don't worry, I know, and I accept your apology. He's gonna die. I'm sorry, he's coming out of his shell, he's rejoining them, he's apologizing, he's gonna die. We reached out and grabbed each other's hands before anyone could say who was first. So, I guess we've settled everything at the door. Do you want to come in? I was afraid you would say no to that. Okay, I owe you one. Are we gonna have a little romantic sleepover slumber party? And then Hiruto set foot in my private room. Slumber party? Look, do you see Hiruto's cute little smiley face? Look at him! Also, Miyuki's eyelashes? Amazing. So then, what do you want to talk about? Actually, I didn't come in with anything in mind. What's the big deal? It's just a normal high school conversation. What does it have to do with being in high school, Miyuki? What are you talking about? Let's say, for example, your favorite thing? Then should I begin? I love video games, especially those with action elements and like ARPGs, platformers, and FPSs. One of the most fun games I've played recently was... What? I'm not even gonna try to say that. What? NI3... What? It's been out for a while, and I passed on it because I didn't think it would be my cup of tea, but when I bought it on the Steam sale, I realized I'd lost half my life. What is he talking about? Half his life? Oh, okay. I see what they're doing. They're doing actual games. The Last of Us Part 2, which I was really looking forward to, was a royal disappointment, but you never know until you watch something. I never, played The Last of Us 2. I watched a playthrough of the original Last of Us, and I really enjoyed it, actually. I thought it was a really good game. But not something I would personally play. I'd rather watch somebody else do it because all the stealthy stuff and the fighting stuff, meh. I want the story. But I've never even seen a playthrough of Part 2, Last of Us. Oops. So, you like those? I can't tell if Miyuki's being judgmental or not. Well, I don't know much about them. I guess the memory loss thing wasn't just an influence. You don't even know what you like or what you don't like? I thought about it myself, but the pattern is pretty complicated. Want to hear it? Sometimes Sometimes I have no idea where this conversation is going. It feels like it's here, it's there, it's here. Of course, I'll listen. We're partners here. I'm gonna die. I guess it will come out like this. I cleared my throat. Likes and dislikes are the domain of emotions rather than memory, so they're untouched. If we're talking about likes and dislikes for a concept, I can answer that. For example, I love cats and I hate bitter things. I love books, hate cold weather. I like local mascots like... What was that? That chilling memory flashed through my mind. What the heck was that? It looked like a distorted picture of a tentacruel. Like, what? Anyway, it's kind of like that, but if you're asking me what I like and I don't like, it's a little hard to pinpoint. What do you mean? You just said what you like and you don't like. What are you talking about? Also, I'm very curious what you think of Miyuki. I still don't know how I feel about him as the protagonist. Like, I'm a little deflated that we aren't Iwata anymore. I don't... Maybe he'll grow on me. But honestly, Miyuki is kind of meh for me right now. I like Iwata better. It's one thing to ask me what I like or dislike in my memory. It's another to ask me what I like or dislike now. The former is harder because the memories are gone, but the likes and dislikes remain. The latter is a matter of creating a new memory for the remaining likes and dislikes, which is fine. That's a really hard one. I can barely make any sense of it. Do you love cats, books, or local mascots? What do they have in common? It's just an example. I mean, I could go on and on. Then you can't talk about individuals, like it's a one-man show. I'm sorry I brought you to my private room for this. Is there anything else we can talk about? Well, maybe. Even if you don't have any memories, you only have memories until you go to this school, so you can talk about this school, right? Why are we stuck here? Why are we being subjected to this? It's such a vague topic. There's so much we don't know. That it's hard to have a meaningful conversation about it. Kidnapping students to play a game of murder is all too unfamiliar. Not to me. I've played lots of these. I don't think any common sense or rational mind can come up with a good answer. Yeah. But you never know. A situation that seems completely ridiculous at first glance may have surprisingly rational conclusion. Is that foreshadowing? Is this gonna have a rational conclusion? The bottom line is, we don't know. In just one sentence. Oh, look at his little smile. I thought you had something in your mind when you said that. There's a whole bunch of real geniuses in this school that aren't doing anything, and what do I know? I just threw it out there. But I don't want to be bent to his will anymore. Whose? Oh, Monokuma? If I'm being honest, I'm still so anxious that I want to know more, because anything is good. Can we really survive at this rate? Is our fate already sealed and we're the only ones who don't know it? Oh, 100%. I'm sorry, but there's no way you're surviving this killing game. Oh, negative thoughts again. Sorry, Miyuki. I'm making myself sound weak. No, it's perfectly understandable to feel insecure when you're in the position of not being useful. I don't think you need to suppress that anxiety. If anything, I'm at fault for bringing it up. I could tell you wouldn't like it, but I didn't really think fast enough. Like, I could tell you wouldn't like talking about it, but I asked anyway. Thank you, Miyuki. I don't know if I should say this, but you seem like a nicer person than I thought. I thought the same thing about you. It took a while because we didn't see each other much, and the conversations we did have were pretty intense, but I think we got all our worries out of the way. Well, I was being a bit harsh. Let's forget about it. I even got an apology, which I deserved. What do you say? See, Miyuki says things like that, like, oh yeah, you even apologized to me. I deserved that. You had to apologize to me. Like, it's when he says stuff like that that it kind of rubs me the wrong way. I don't know. And it makes me like, I don't know how I feel about him. I even got an apology, which I deserved. Like, humble it down a little bit. Iwata smirked and held out a fisted hand. Good luck. To both of us. Of course. Fist bump. Boop. Bromance. Fist to fist, that was the end of the story for the both of us. Huh? Why do you say it like that? It was the end to the whole story? What? Of course, I understand where you're coming from. We've all seen those videos, and it's hard not to get upset. Please, just try to calm down. I'm thinking about it right now, too, and I want to curl up in a corner and curse the world. But why are the three of us, Tsubaki, Shinano, and me, gathered at the door of your private room? It's because the very act of being stuck is dangerous. I didn't want to put any pressure on you, but there's no denying that this is a crossroads. You hold not only your life, but ours in your hands. So please, use your best judgment. Running away is no longer an option. Now that I've changed my mind and decided to join you guys, if I've been rude to you all, I owe you an apology. Of course, you know, this isn't about trusting you, per se. Of course, I know. And I accept your apology. In the end, I opened the door I had locked, choosing to walk with them. I definitely have no regrets about my decision to take a chance this time. My focus should be on what's coming next, not on my own feelings. The current time was just a few minutes away from 9 p.m. Bedtime. It's still another hour before that alarm goes off, but there's no reason to stay awake. I wonder if I should go to bed earlier than usual. He's gonna go to bed earlier than usual and something's gonna happen in the night. Something's happening. Why else would he say that that's where their story ends? Why? Oh, someone's here. It's Kuzu again. I got out of bed and went to the door. How do you know it's her again? I still don't know their names. It's a real problem. I don't know why. Like, I feel like usually by this point in chapter 1, I kind of know all of their names. I can't remember how long it took me to learn all the characters in Danganronpa Another. It might have actually been after chapter 1. I don't even know, but I feel like I'm taking a long time to learn all their names. Like, I know her, and I know Iwata, and I know that guy Tomoe, because I think he's going to end up being a killer. Not this chapter, but probably like a chapter 3 type of guy. That's it. I don't know anybody else's name. It's a real problem. Hey. As I called it, Kuzu was standing in front of the door. But not only her. Tadaira. Hitomi. Are you well, Mr. Iwata? Shoji. How's it feel to be the new Hiruto? Refreshing and great? Oh, come on out. You are the only one who needs to go out. What are they talking about? Oh, they're saying he's the new Hiruto because he's locked himself in his room and he's not going out, just like Iwata did before. Okay, I get it now. Took me a second. What's all this about? That's for later. Just come on already. As they finished speaking, Misaki tugged on my wrist and dragged me out of the room. No. Oh, that's her. Here, that's Iwata. No, wait. I'm not moving until you explain. What the hell is going on? What are you guys doing? Well, it can't be helped. Let me explain then. Miss Kuzu, do you mind if I explain? Hey, I told you to call me Misaki. Misaki? Misaki. Misaki? I'm not 100% sure. I've never called anyone outside of my family by their first name. So I've made a mistake. I'm sorry. No, you don't need to apologize at all. You want to do it yourself anyway? That'll be great. Yes, thank you. Tadaira stepped forward and with her usual cheerful expression, began to talk. I actually felt a bit helpless after what happened this morning, unable to do anything about it in the face of the darkness. But I have no intention of sitting on the sidelines, because I personally believe in the strength of music. And she also reminds me, which fangan was it? Was it the one? It was the one that wasn't completed. It stopped after chapter 2. Oh my god, what was it? What was it called? Blowback. I'm pretty sure it was called Blowback. She reminds me of that girl. There was this exact same girl in Blowback. Like literally. The same design, the violin. It's the same girl. About 10 minutes ago, I went to Miss Misaki's private room to make a proposal. A little concert. See, it's the exact same thing. It's Blowback, isn't it? That other girl, violin girl, did a concert. No, she ended up being the Black End, I think. I don't remember. But this is where it's gonna happen. There's gonna be a concert, and he's gonna die. This is where the victim comes. I'm pretty sure. It has to be. A concert? Wait, are we Hiruto? Are we Iwata? No way. Why are we in Iwata's head now? I'm so confused. We're switching back and forth between protagonists? What's happening? It'll literally be a little concert, though. Since I'm the only music major, it's going to be a cello recital. But the cello's rich tone can work in any situation. Oh, she plays cello, not violin. Sorry. I have a lot of recital experience, so I'm quite confident. Isn't it great to think about using your talents to shake things up? Oh, it's gonna shake things up, alright. I'm thankful. It's just what I do for a living. So, we are searching left and right, looking for people to organize a concert together. First, Mr. Shinano. After talking to Misaki, I've come to the conclusion that he's indispensable for something like this. Leave the event stuff to me. To Miss Fukuoka, I asked if I could borrow some of her talents, but it didn't quite work out. I originally wanted to bake bread and sweets for a tea party, but I realized that we didn't have any of the flour in the kitchen. How could that be? But since I've given away the secret, I figured one person's share was enough. Secret? Why are we Iwata? I'm so confused. Come to think of it, I didn't explain that. It's a secret from all the other students. We're the only ones who know. It's supposed to be a surprise, and the best way to make it exciting is to keep it a secret. There are 5 of us. So, why did you call me? There are plenty of other students. Why me? I thought this was the most obvious opportunity. The perfect opportunity to convince your students that you have changed. Is it really Iwata, the douchebag who's been holed up in the corner of his room? I'm feeling really excited. Can you feel it? Mr. Shinano, you can't call your friend a douchebag. It's not polite. Eh? Oh, it was just a joke. It's okay, Tadaira. I'll take it. Seriously, we switched protagonist again. Moving on. What am I supposed to do? You know I got in by lottery. I have no talent. You don't have to be talented, right? The fact that you are helpful is all that matters. Alright then. That's enough chatter in the middle of the hallway. Let's get to the venue. Sorry, now I have the hiccups. There's a place that Daira suggested to me. You want to come with? Okay. Yes. Alright, follow me. Make sure you don't get spotted, though. Seriously, I'm so confused why we're switching protagonists all willy-nilly. Everything okay here? Hi. Actually, it's the best place for it, isn't it? If you don't want a room that's too spacious and the sound spreads, but you also don't want a room that's too small to accommodate 16 students. There's also a lot of chairs available, so you can reduce the amount of preparation. Oh, did you even consider that? I guess you're an expert. I'm flattered. I see it a lot when I go to concerts, so it's natural for me to realize the condition of the concert hall has a big impact on the performance. So, I'll leave it up to you to do anything directly related to the performance. I've never had such a noble hobby, so I'm completely out of the loop. Yeah. Don't say that. Classic is not tricky. Yes. But let's just make this a conference room and have a meeting. Take a seat, take a seat. Okay. But it sounds a little dreary in here. On the contrary, the wood that made up the floor of the classroom was quite deteriorated, and the creaking was quite audible whenever I walked on it. No matter how much I tried to move, I couldn't stop it from sounding. I'm going to have to ask you to refrain from moving when I play. I'll remember. So, let's start planning how we're going to do this concert. How many songs are you going to play, Tadaira? I think it's probably going to have to be about 4 songs. I'd love to play 10 if I'm motivated, but we're going for a small concert feel. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's better to keep it short and bold, you know. What are you thinking of playing? I don't mind Bach's unaccompanied cello suites and Beethoven's cello sonata, which are biblical when it comes to cello music. I'd also like to play Schumann's cello concerto in A minor, a personal favorite. And this is a bit greedy. I really want to try Bach's aria in G this time. It's not that I hadn't played it before, but I had a piano accompaniment. I've been wanting to get together with a few people I know and play a solo sometime, and this is the perfect opportunity. What does everyone think? I don't really know what you're saying, so I'll just stay surprised. I've never even heard of the titles, so I can't comment on it. Sorry. Oh dear. I got carried away and I rambled on. Sorry. There's no reason for you to apologize. It's our fault for being uncivilized. No. Common sense dictates that you should know aria on the G line. Don't you know this famous one? No, sorry. Maybe if I heard it. But no, I don't know the titles, no. Fukuoka, I heard you studied abroad in France, so maybe you're a little different. Bach, Beethoven, and Schumann were all German. It doesn't really matter. Mrs. Fukuoka, you know your stuff. Are you interested in the classics? I
I sometimes play when I'm coming up with recipes. I don't dig deep, but I do enjoy some of the more famous pieces. Aria on a G-string, and I'm particularly fond of more these days. Oh, Masorgsky? Sorry, I don't know. It's another favorite of mine. I'd love to have an in-depth conversation with you about pictures at an exhibition.
You're closer to each other than I realized.
You've already had a shallow interaction, so you know what I'm talking about. You should have made a friend.
I mean, with that weird smile on her face, that's kind of mean. Like, she's like, yeah, you should have made a friend too. You don't have this connection because you don't have any friends. That's what it feels like. It's just me.
I'm also conducting interviews with students in my spare time. You know, with their permission. It's hard for viewers not to love an interview with an ultimate student, isn't it? Partly because it's something I'm personally interested in. Mayu would have butt-kicked you for sure. Jumanji rejected me as a nuisance. I couldn't even talk to Iwata, and Tadaira was nowhere to be found. Come to think of it, Tadaira, I don't see much of you either. You just eat and go straight to your private room.
Okay, she goes to eat and goes back to her room, and they're making a big deal about me being in my room? Also, again, like, I don't understand why we switched protagonists again.
I don't know for any particular reason. I'm just a shy person.
You're gonna kill somebody.
She's like, I'm so shy.
She's a killer. She's a blackened. Watch. She's gonna be the first killer. No, they can't do that. That would be like the same as... It would be exactly the same as, blowback.
In my free time, I always practice in my private room. It's soundproof, and I can't think of a better place to practice.
Is it soundproof now?
I see. Can we do an interview later?
Hey, this is a long local broadcast. Save the personal stuff for later.
If it's 3 out of 5 people talking, it's not a local broadcast. It's a Tokyo broadcast.
What are they talking about? Genuinely, what are they talking about broadcasts? What are they talking about? I don't know what that means. Anyway, let's get back to business. So, how many days? And when and where do we want to open it? Are they talking about the concert?
I can't wait for this. Why don't we just open it tomorrow and let the performer decide the time? I don't think it's feasible to start early in the morning. I need to practice a few times, and in case something goes wrong, lunch it seems like a good time.
So lunch tomorrow is when someone's gonna die.
Why did we start at 1 p.m.? Instead, rehearsals start as early as 8 a.m. I'll be ready to play at any time after.
Oh, what's this? You guys are getting motivated. That's a good attitude.
If I can give the strength with this performance, it'll be a great opportunity. There's no reason not to do it every once in a while.
Huh. Again. Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm getting so confused because the protagonists switch constantly. And so the conversation continued for a while. So, the most important place setting. Nighttime.
This is a school announcement. It is now 10 p.m. Nighttime. Soon the dining hall will be locked.
How did they say it in the original?
Soon the doors to the dining hall will be locked.
Something like that.
Now, have sweet dreams. Good night.
Monokuma's gonna have sweet dreams. He knows someone's dying tomorrow.
Quite the loud alarm, no matter when you hear it.
Wow, it's already that time. I didn't even notice.
You don't have to sleep now, do you? I'm not sure if you're gonna sleep at 10 p.m., but I'm not going to sleep yet.
10 p.m. is a good time to go to sleep. I go to sleep at 9. Well, yeah, 9, 10, 11 sometimes. Actually, right now it's 10. Fridays I usually stay up to record, but today I'm probably going to go to bed earlier because my head hurts a little bit. But yeah. I am, even if it goes, I know I said I would like for it to be an hour playing today. If it takes more than an hour for the victim reveal, that's okay. It's fine. I'll keep going until we get a victim.
Huh?
Tadira, are you asleep? She's a little creepy. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I apologize. Because of the atmosphere, I've been on an early bedtime routine.
So you just fell asleep standing up, girl?
Then why don't we end it early for the sake of the performance?
Yeah.
But you have to sleep with everything you have to decide. What? But you have to sleep with everything you have to decide. What does that mean? Okay. Right now, starting tomorrow morning. If you're quite tight, you won't have much time, would you? I'll do it.
Huh?
Placing the settings? All on you? Call it setting the scene. Tadira, do you want me to move and clean our desks as you told us in advance? It's simple. It's just manual labor. It doesn't require talent or anything. And I'm probably the most labor person here, aside from Misaki. Misaki. Hey now, what is with you today? You've been quite nice, really. Misaki then patted me on the shoulder, who was sitting in the front row. She's definitely stronger than I am.
Yes.
Come to think of it, this was also the debut of the new Hiruto, right? Okay, since Hiruto is so motivated, I'll leave the organizing to you. If Iwata is doing the organizing, what if they don't even get to the performance? What if it happens when he's organizing this? But also, if it does happen when he's organizing this, it would have to be one of these. The Blackened would have to be one of these people, 5 people who knows about it. Or I guess 4, because Iwata doesn't count if he's gonna die. I'm convinced he's gonna die. So, like, if he ends up dead before the concert, that would mean it is one of these 4 people is the Blackened. But if it happens during the concert, it would be like anyone could be up for grabs other than Tadira, who would be playing. Just thinking about it. I don't know. I told you not to call me that.
Yes.
Don't let the public go cold. From now on, this will turn into a music venue. Mr. Shinano, you can't call Mr. Iwata as part of the public. Mr. Iwata may have been lucky enough to get in, but he is technically a student here now. Huh? No, I wasn't pointing at Hiruto. I was just kidding, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Huh?
What? Yu-Gi-Oh? Is that the name of someone I don't recall?
Mazui.
Oh my god, what am I gonna do with this culture gap? You're too much of a lady, Tadira. You do an interview with me. I'll get back to you later.
So, Hiruto. When do you want to come and clean up? Right now? No. I'll do it in the morning. I'm a little tired right now. My alarm goes off at 7 a.m., so why don't I come out half hour earlier to get organized? I'm pretty sure I'll be done before 8 a.m. See, they're excuse me, I'm so sorry. That was so sudden. They're talking now about there's a lot of specific times being put in here, so it's happening. He's gonna die in the morning. I think he might be killed before the concert, and it's gonna be one of these 4 people. And the time is gonna be an important aspect about it.
Yes.
So 6:30 a.m. Okay. So we'll have to do some access control before 8 a.m.
Leave that to me. I'll even get you some publicity.
That's right. Katori would just need to add a few decorative touches to the place that Hiruto prepared.
Okay, I'll do something for it.
Sorry, when she said, I'll do something for it, my first thought was that she's just gonna kill somebody for it. This sounds perfect on paper, right?
This is a group effort. This is the hope side.
Ah, Hiruto. Oh, sorry. Hiruto, just a reminder. Don't make too much noise. Someone passing by might see what you're doing. That's okay. I'm not doing anything to make a big deal about it. Good. Then I think we're gonna call it a day. So make sure you're on time. He's gonna be dead by 8 a.m. He's gonna be dead. With that preliminary preparation, all the students went back to their private rooms. The first thing I did was lie down on the bed. That place setting, I decided not to think too much about it. Are we gonna, if we end up switching back to Miyuki. Yeah, so now we're Miyuki again. Okay, so I'm thinking. Because it feels weird. Only because, like, I think we switched to Iwata at that moment just so we would know the plan, right? So that we would know they were planning to do a surprise concert for everybody, and we would know exactly what Iwata was supposed to be doing in that classroom when he turns up dead in that classroom. But on the other hand, I feel like there was no need for us to know. Like, I feel like it would have. This could not even happen. He could not die. Like, I'm just. I've played a lot of these games, okay? And I feel like I have a pretty good sense of when somebody, the victim's gonna appear. Um, I just. I don't know how I feel about us getting all that information about exactly what's going on because it would immediately narrow down the suspects into those 4 people. Whereas otherwise, if we were just Miyuki the whole time and we wouldn't have any clue and we just found his body, it would be more of a mystery. We'd have to look for more clues and the trial would, there would be more suspects. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. That's just, I don't even know if I'm making sense. I'm just rambling the thoughts in my head. For some reason, I felt like I had a pretty sweet sleep last night. Let's wash first. You're not going to have a good sleep for the rest of your time here. Someone's dying today. I looked at my watch and it was still a little bit before 7 a.m. I'm not really sleepy, so why don't we wait in front of the diner and eat? Okay. Let's go. Oh, is this Iwata? I see someone come out of the laundry room door and walk toward me. That person is... Oh no, that's Erica. Jumanji's Erica. Okay. I also know Justin. I also like Justin. He's a good character. Ah, Jumanji. What's the matter? Just stopping by the laundry? I can't. Every time I hear her name, all I think of is that movie Jumanji. It's a really good movie. If you haven't seen it, you should. Or she would probably say like, very monotone. Jumanji then walked past me with her nose buried in her book, seemingly unwilling to continue the conversation. She should at least look up. See, this Miyuki, he's a little... Like, yeah, what she did, he said good morning to her, I guess, and she didn't respond, which was also rude. But I think Miyuki's a little rude too. Like, they're both. Like, Erica was rude, and he's being rude too. Am I asking too much? Yeah. You should have your expectations in the floor for these people.
Hello, everyone. It's morning, 7 a.m. Wake up time. Now, let's have another lively day.
And now it was 7 a.m. I don't really need to keep standing outside like this. Let's go to the diner. Okay, we know. So it's 7 a.m. now. We know for a fact that Iwata is currently in that classroom setting up for the concert. We know this. He would have been in there from 6:30, so he's there currently. Part of me just wants to go right over there. Speaking of which, Misaki's not coming? Misaki, by her own volition, was the first to arrive at the restaurant and the last to leave. I wonder if she overslept. But listen to me, Miyuki. If you just walked right in there, it's 7 a.m., the door just unlocked, you walked in, and you're surprised not to see Misaki there? Hello? The door was locked. You didn't see her come towards the diner when you were waiting outside, did you? So yeah, she's not there yet. I don't know why he's surprised not to see her. Just saying. I mean, is it really a problem to take it so lightly? Is he now accusing her of being, like, negligent in her duties, in her self-appointed duties, of being in the dining hall the longest? See, like, it's his thoughts like this that I'm just like, ooh. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about him. I miss Iwata. I like being Iwata better. It's a fact we sometimes forget, but we're in the middle of a murderous classroom. A certain amount of suspicion may be essential. What, you think because she wasn't in there by, like, the first minute after it opened that she's out killing somebody? Come on, bro. Like, yeah, she's gonna end up being one of the suspects, but it's not gonna be her. It's gonna be one of the other three. This can't continue. We have to do something. This was the moment I jumped out of my seat. Alright, you know the drill. Oh, hey Miyuki. You're already here. You've been caught, Miss Misaki. I suppose an explanation is inevitable. Is inevitable. Is inevitable now, is it? As if to laugh at my worries, she appeared. You had me worried, Misaki. You're late today, aren't you? By like, what, 2 minutes? What, you were worried about me? That's a surprise. I'm sorry I was late. I am a human, and sometimes I oversleep. So I got ready and opened the door at the same time as the alarm. Tomoe was coming out at the same time, so we made eye contact. I asked him to keep it a secret, and now you've found out. I apologize for speaking like I'm an infallible leader, and then screwing up like this. There's a reason I overslept, but it's still my fault. Sorry, I got the hiccups. Reason? Ooh? I'll save that one for later when there's more people around. In my experience, not too many people come to eat at this time of day, so we'll have to wait a bit. So what are we eating? Can't hurt to do it. You said that I can't speak. You said that... Seriously? What's wrong with me? You said the same thoughts I had. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. Are you? I think you're a secret serial killer. No, that's a bit of a stretch. And so, the three of us sat down to eat. Well, that's enough for me. Huh? Where are you going? As an extension of what I said earlier, I want to take a quick look at something. Just in case, don't follow me, okay? Well, that's just gonna make you want to follow, like, everyone want to follow you. Come on. What are they hiding? Is there something going on behind the scenes? See, I don't know. Part of me feels like it might have been more interesting if we didn't know what they were planning. You know? And if we were just Miyuki, even though I'm still about him, and we just didn't know and she started acting weird like this. Like, it would, I think maybe it would have been more Impactful? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Tomoe, do you have any idea what Misaki is up to? Not at all. And even I have no idea what she's thinking. She claims to be the leader of us all, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's something she's secretly working on for us. By the looks of it, Misaki has become quite trustworthy. She's been following me since I arrived at the school. I didn't give it much credit at first. I guess you could say I was hesitating between suspicion and trust. Although she was falsely accused, she was also involved in the murder case, and she has not fully let go of it. But I think Misaki's feelings are genuine, and I don't want to ignore them, which is why I'm acknowledging her now. I'm sure the others feel the same way. I see. Then, before I could utter the next word... Hey guys, could you help me out for a second? Miss Misaki. And behind her, Miss Tadaira? What is it? I'm hitting my desk.
Guys, can you help us find Mr. Iwata?
He's missing. He's dead. 100%. We're gonna find his body. This is what happens. I say I like a character and poof, this is what the writers do to me. Sometimes I feel like it's just a personal attack. No, I'm just kidding. Iwata? What's going on? Iwata was supposed to be in class 1A, but he's gone. Tadaira says she saw him.
I'm just coming out of the classroom, but I didn't see Mr. Iwata. He was supposed to be here.
Oh, so she didn't see him. Sorry, did I read that wrong? Sorry, my fault. Did you run into Misaki leaving the diner on your way back to the classroom? Yes, exactly. Leaving aside the reasons for Mr. Iwata to be there, isn't it possible that he's just been sleeping in his private room all this time? We rang the doorbell a few times, but there was no response. Of course, he could be sleeping inside, but it's unnerving. I know it's annoying, but do me a favor. I don't know what it is, but why not? Where can I look? Miyuki, you can investigate the school building with me. Tomoe and Tadaira, can you investigate the dormitory building?
Yeah, that's fine.
If we find him, I will let you know. We're gonna find him. But it's gonna be his body. We ran out of the diner and split into groups. I'm not sure what the situation was, but I saw the urgency in Misaki and Tadaira's demeanor and couldn't help myself. Maybe he went to the bathroom. Or he's sleeping in his private room. There were many ways to explain his absence. But the tragedy always seems to shine when it gives you a little hope, and then crushes it. And where we stand is in the middle of that hole. First, let's begin with the classrooms, in case he hasn't gotten back yet. I'm just wondering, why did they choose this music? Isn't this supposed to be an intense moment we can't find him? Shouldn't it be a little more of the, not this one? Not this track? I don't know. Misaki turned around as she said that, but the pause didn't last long. The classroom door was wide open. Oh, no. I don't wanna. I don't wanna click. From where we were standing, we had a pretty good view into the classroom. Beyond the disorganized bookshelves, I saw an object that made its presence very clear. The curtain has risen. For the actual protagonist of this stage. I'm sorry, we're switching again. I knew it, but I'm still sad. Like it. I knew it, but oh my god. He was stabbed in the back. He's bleeding from his mouth and his eyes are completely bloodshot. See, I knew it, but I'm still really upset because I really like Iwata a lot. Hiroto Iwata, the ultimate lucky student, was greeting us with a cold face. Iwata. Hiroto. Why? His death seemed obvious. The knife, which was deeply embedded in his back, and the eyes that lost their vitality, told the reality so well. Why did Iwata meet his fate here? Before I knew it, I heard footsteps behind me. Ah, there you are. We couldn't find Mr. Iwata in the dormitory building. Mr. Iwata? I knew it, but I'm upset.
A body has been discovered. After some time, the class trial will begin.
What is going on here? Tadira could say no more and fell to her knees. Chemto, Moresong, Soke Shilak, Il Sangpyeon. I don't know what any of that means. Deadly life. I have a lot. I'll wait until I finish this part to kind of talk about it. I'm gonna just keep reading. It was not long before everyone else arrived on the scene. I forgot this girl existed. I don't like her either. Oh god. Damn it. Someone said he was lucky. Girl. What the? Students' reactions to the corpse were mixed. Don't call him a corpse. He's Hiroto. He deserves more than being called a corpse. I'm really upset. Some, like Ego and Jumanji, didn't seem to mind, while others, like Shinano and Mikawa, reacted violently. This guy. I hate this guy's stupid face. I wish he was the Blackened, but there's no way he is. 15 people. We're all here. It's starting to happen. Did I give him a southern accent? He has one now. Haunting. What is? Class trial. That's what they mean.
Good answer, Miyuki. To my great pride, we have a killer student among you. The teacher is so happy.
Cut the crap. There's a murderer among us? Clearly, Misaki. Like, hello? He was stabbed in the back. So whoever did this, I'm not happy with you.
Yes, the killer is among the 15 remaining students. One of you.
Won't listen. The possibility of falsehood exists. The bear is cunning.
You still think so little of me? Oh, this is disappointing, Mr. Blade. Monokumas never lie about these events, and I never meddle in murder. It's an iron law. There's no such thing as a reasoning game without adhering to these simple principles. You need to work on that, Mr. Blade.
Curse you.
Speaking of the class trial, let's get back to business. We all know the rules of the class trial, and I don't think there's anyone who hasn't learned them by now.
That's true. They breaking the fourth wall, knowing that the people who play these games are people who are very familiar with these games.
As I said on the TV, I'm going to give you time to investigate before the class trial. I'm going to be very generous, so don't worry about missing any evidence. And given that almost all of you are non-technical and inexperienced, I'm going to give you a gift to help you with your investigation.
I feel like the masterminds would always want the blackened to be discovered, because that way the game continues and they could happen again. They wouldn't, I feel like the mastermind wouldn't want the blackened to get away with it, because then it's not as fun, right?
Call it the Monokuma File. This file lists the estimated time of death of the victim, the condition of the body, and any other noteworthy details. Use it to help with your deductions. I think I've covered the important stuff, so I'll go see to the trial floor. Good luck!
Monokuma, wait! As Monokuma turned to leave, Shitanda's voice echoed down the hall. That's an unfortunate name, I'm sorry, but literally, I mean, look at the name.
Mr. Shitanda, we've never heard your voice so loud before. Is something wrong?
You shouldn't go yet. I haven't heard an important outcome. What happens if an accomplice in the case who helped you commit the murder? Do you graduate with them?
Oh, I forgot to explain that important rule.
I guess I should have known better.
I told you! I'm fair when it comes to the class trials.
That said, I think it's one thing to tell a lie, and another to hide the truth.
I know you would if I were you, because I'm pretty sure I didn't intentionally withhold information.
There's no accomplice. There never is in the first one.
Now, let's talk about the accomplice rule. To put it bluntly, nothing goes to the accomplice. After winning the trial, the only person who can escape is the killer, and you can't put a spoon on that. They don't get special treatment, and they just get executed with the rest of them. No student had ever asked about this before. The teacher was frankly disappointed.
No one asked. Why is no one in yellow?
Oops, I ran my mouth too much.
Huh. This isn't the first killing game, is it? Like, I wonder if this mastermind, whoever it is, has conducted multiple killing games. Because they're like, no one has said it. No one has asked. Meaning that there were previous times when this has happened, and nobody thought to ask the previous times. Here, in this time, it's the first time. So there must have been another, at least one other killing game that this mastermind has done. Slipped a little bit.
Anyway, that's all I have to say. So, whether you're the blackened or the spotless, I wish you the best of luck. Bye! Pooh!
I miss the poo-hoo-hoos. With those words, Monokuma disappeared, as usual. I still have no idea what he was talking about. It seems this is the only way to go. It's true. Sorry, I don't remember what voice I gave her. Was she like my Makaru voice? I think so. It's true. If you don't want to die, you have to move. Iko pushed herself off the wall and she was leaning against and strode into the classroom.
Wait, you can't go in there.
What?
I mean, I can't let you go in there alone. You could be the one who did it. If you do, you'll be leaving with the evidence behind, albeit briefly.
Makes sense. If you're sure, let's go in together. And it's always good to have more than one person on site to keep an eye on things, right? According to Monokuma, there are no accomplices in this case. If they had, they would have realized that they had nothing to gain from Monokuma's testimony, and would have come forward immediately.
Yes, that would have been nice. Oh, and just in case, I don't suspect anything. I didn't suspect anything. Was I a little rude?
No, I'm not criticizing you, because you made a good point. Anyway, let's just get started. No time to waste. Yes, we must begin. To reveal who is lurking among us with bated breath. To survive, to struggle for one more chance. Investigation start. Alright, we're gonna look at the Monokuma file, I believe. And when I have the opportunity to look at the investigation stuff, then I'll end this. And just like that, I was once again face to face with a corpse. What do you mean again? Once again? No. Really unfortunate because he was so paranoid. And clearly he had a right to be paranoid. And he was just coming out of his shell again. And he was trying to make friends. And he was helping them with their stupid little concert. And he got killed. Stabbed in the back. Literally. Iwata's body wasn't in a gruesome state. Wasn't in as gruesome a state as I had imagined. He was lying on his back. That's not his back. He was lying on his stomach with a kitchen knife stuck deep in his back. But he was bleeding sparingly because the knife hadn't been pulled out. However, there was some blood coming out of his mouth. And his eyes. You see his eyes? Bloodstain has been recorded in your e-handbook. You can check it in the truth bullet menu. As I stood and looked down at Iwata's body, I felt a little dizzy and rubbed my forehead. Once again, something in my instincts beyond my memory was sending me signals. How was I supposed to interpret it? He's the ultimate detective, isn't he? That's why, he's in his element. He's seen dead bodies before. He said again. I'm pretty sure he's the ultimate detective or something. Or has something to do with being, like that. Realizing it would be dangerous to stand any longer, I haphazardly slumped into the next chair. Hey, don't mess with stuff in the scene. Sorry, cut me some slack. My head is about to burst open. That's a pretty unusual reaction for you. Didn't you just see the dead body? No. This feeling is not fear. I can't quite put my finger on it, but its identity is clearly floating in my frontal lobe. There's no other way to identify it other than deja vu. Yeah, ultimate detective, 100%. Or maybe, hear me out, maybe Miyuki was part of a previous killing game. And maybe he won or got out. Maybe he was a Blackened that didn't get caught. And then his memories were erased. And he was sent into the second killing game because Monokuma or the mastermind was upset that the game ended before they wanted it to. So they set up a whole nother one with more people. Is that too much of a stretch? It's possible, right? He could have been in another killing game, and that's why his memories were kind of erased. Huh. So maybe he's not the ultimate detective. Maybe he was just in a killing game before. And he was put in another one. Like, it's possible. I kind of like the idea of him possibly being a Blackened who won the trial. Maybe pretty early on. Like, maybe like a first or second trial type deal. And the mastermind was like, well, this isn't fun. It didn't last long enough. I want more. So they set up another killing game. And instead of letting Miyuki go free, like was promised, they erase his memory and spit him into another killing game in hopes that this one would be more entertaining for them. That would be quite interesting. If it's not that, maybe I should write that fangan. A fangan like that. It's understandable if you've never seen a corpse before. It's rather admirable that you had the courage to come this far. If you think it's too much, you can walk away. So don't try to force yourself to watch it. No, it's alright. Whatever my feelings are, they should be put aside for now. There's life and death at stake here. I picked myself up and moved closer to the body. The floor is deteriorating. The flooring here has always been very squeaky. I tried to be careful as possible, but it's still sounding. Noisy floor. So that makes me think, right? Iwata was stabbed in the back, right? So he must not have seen it coming. But if there was a squeaky floor, wouldn't he have heard the Blackened come up to him? Unless he knew he wasn't alone and it was someone he somewhat, I don't want to say trusted, he didn't trust anybody, but it was one of those 4 people who was setting up the concert, came up behind him and stabbed him, and took a knife from the kitchen and stabbed him. I don't know. I don't know which one of the 4 it is. I don't think it's Misaki. So it has to be either the cello girl, Tadaira, Mr. Streamer Boy, whose name I forgot. It starts with an S. Or that girl with the hat, whose name I also forgot. Well, it may come in handy later. For now, I think we should take a look at this first. Misaki then pointed to a black file laying near the body. Also, what is that in a heap on the right? Do you see that? Is that like his jacket? Like, there's blood on it. I guess we'll find out later, though. Misaki then pointed to a black... This is the Monokuma file. I read that already, I think. I picked up the file and opened it. Oh. Why? Why do these games always make me like a character and then kill them immediately? The victim is Hiroto Iwata, the ultimate lucky student. Body found in classroom 1A. Estimated time of death is between 6 a.m. and 7:30 a.m. That's a wide window. There has to be a reason it was said as such a wide window. The cause of death is believed to be asphyxiation, with the kitchen knife stab wound to the back. So he was... Asphyxiation, that's choking, right? No. Yes. No. I can't remember. I'm stupid. There are no other visible injuries. I thought, wow, that's really simple information. I read the file again and again, wondering if I had misread it. Asphyxiation. Really? So he really wasn't stabbed to death? And if so, was the stabbing a mere camouflage? Probably, because if he had been stabbed when he was still alive, there would have been way more blood. I feel like because he was the... I don't know then. How? We have to do the investigation, I suppose. A million things were going through my head. Because of the blood. Before I knew it, Kizuki was looking over my shoulder at the Monokuma file. Blood? Are you saying that blood can cause suffocation?
I just got back from performing a quick autopsy. Iwata's lungs were full of blood.
You performed an autopsy already? Girl, how did you do that so fast? I guess you're the ultimate, I guess. His lungs were full of blood.
Because the knife had reached the lungs, the blade acted as a kind of bridge, allowing a large amount of blood to flow into the lungs.
That explains the blood coming out of his mouth. In other words, there wasn't much external bleeding.
Yeah, as you can see, there's hardly any blood on the floor. If it hadn't punctured his lung, he might have survived.
But they said the cause of death was asphyxiation. I guess maybe he couldn't breathe because he got stabbed in the lung? I don't know. I'm so confused. It must have been a pretty risky choice for the killer to leave the knife unattended. If he didn't get a certain amount of blood into his lungs, he wouldn't have died.
Yes, it was a bit of a stroke of luck. From the killer's perspective, pulling out a knife would have been a more reliable way to kill the victim.
Then the killer stabbed him, knowing that a stab at this angle and this depth would surely cause him to suffocate. In other words, the culprit is the only medically literate person in the room. How about this hypothesis? What? No, because then that would only point to this girl right here, and there's no way it's her.
What do you mean by that?
It doesn't matter. It's probably a false hypothesis anyway. Like, if I were her, I'd be offended. I'm like, it's not me.
In all seriousness, no matter how medically savvy they were pushing their luck. Stabbing an unarmed man in the back with a single blow to the lungs, and then fleeing without further action? This is not possible unless they were lucky enough. Again, instead of killing Iwata for sure, the killer was taking a high-stakes gamble.
I see. Have you told this story to anyone else?
No, I just finished the autopsy. This is the first time I'm speaking about it to you.
Can you then explain it to the rest of the class so that they have fair information? Huh. Honestly, I thought he was going to say, don't tell them.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks.
I'll do what I have to do.
Monokuma File 1 has been added to my truth bullet. Kizuki's account was added to the truth bullet, so Kizuki's account is the autopsy. I turned my head away from Kizuki. Wait, everyone, please, look over here. My head instinctively swiveled in his direction at the sound of his loud voice. Well, since we're gonna be doing some kind of deduction anyway, I thought I'd get an alibi first. Alibi? That's quite the word. What do you mean? Everyone knows what that means. According to the Monokuma file, Iwata's death was sometime between 6 o'clock and 7:30 this morning, right? It would be nice to take turns testifying about what happened in between. You're right, Shitanda. It would be nice if someone could prove their alibi. Let's begin with me. Well, I usually leave my room around 6 a.m., but today I overslept a bit and left my room at the same time the alarm went off. At 7. I'm sure Tomoe knows that, right? You're right. I opened the door to the sound of 7 o'clock alarm, and I made eye contact with Misaki, who opened the door at the same time. So, after that, Tomoe and I went straight to the diner to meet Miyuki. After the three of us ate, I left and ran into Tadaira, who was heading for the private rooms. Right, guys? But also, we had run in this morning. Sorry. We ran into Erica this morning, coming out of the laundry room. Could that be something? But and then again, I don't think Erica is a suspect. The only suspects I have are the ones who were planning the concert. Because this is another reason why, like, maybe we shouldn't have known what they were planning to do. Because then I would look at other people, unless this writer was trying to steer me in the wrong direction, make me suspect those people, and have it be somebody completely different. That's possible, I guess. After the three of us ate, I left, and I ran into Tadira, who was heading to the private rooms. Right, guys? Yes. We left the private room before 7 a.m. and arrived at the diner, where I met up with Misaki and Tomoe shortly thereafter. I finished getting ready a little after 7 a.m. and headed to the classroom with the intention of stopping by before the diner. Mr. Iwata wasn't in the classroom, which puzzled me for a moment. I thought he might have gone to the restroom, so I headed to his private room. That's when I ran into Misaki. Misaki thought this was a little strange, so she joined Miyuki and Tomoe, who were in the diner, to look for Mr. Iwata. That's a bit odd. Sounds like Iwata was supposed to be in this classroom unconditionally. That's right. Iwata was supposed to be here. What does that mean? Could you explain? Unlike me and Tomoe, who didn't know why we were looking for Iwata, Misaki and Tadira seemed to know something. I've been wondering about this for a while, and now it's time to hear the explanation. As you can see from the mess, Iwata was organizing the place to prepare for a concert. Concert? It was a spur-of-the-moment plan yesterday. Shinano, Tadira, Fukuoka, Iwata, and me. So you're all suspects immediately. Misaki then told us everything that happened last night from 9 p.m. when she called Iwata until they parted ways at 10. In other words, the five of you prepared for the concert, and when Mr. Iwata offered to take over the chores, you agreed. And Iwata was attacked by a killer while he was cleaning up. If I hadn't left Iwata in charge, or at least, maybe it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't left Iwata alone. It's not your fault. There's no need to beat yourself up, Misaki. Of course, I had no control over the culprit, and I had no idea this would happen to Hiroto. But this is also true that I was short-sighted and complacent, and I will take the blame after successfully clearing the class trial. Let's hope we can reprimand you for that. Truthful at the concert. Okay. Let's get back to alibis. Oh, sorry. I clicked it by accident. Oh, sorry. I didn't read it. For the record, I didn't leave my private room until well after 7 a.m. when I heard Tomoe's call and rushed to the scene. I got out of the classroom at the same time and was on my way to the classroom. Oh, sorry. Why did I say classroom twice? Clearly I can't read. It's at that point. Yeah. I'm a little tired now. I wanna get to the actual investigation so I can save the game and explain a little bit of my thoughts before I go.
We were almost there when the body discovery announcement by Monokuma went off, and I wondered what was going on. But then I heard shouting coming from the direction of the classroom.
Similar to me. I would have been the first to find the body after Fukuoka.
I didn't get out until a little after 7 o'clock when I heard Tomoe's doorbell, so I'm guessing it's similar to yours. In addition to Tomoe and Misaki, we have Kana, Justin, and Shitanda, Jumanji, Sarashino, Mikawa, and Kizuki. Everyone is catching up, right?
Almost all of the 7 named nodded, except for one. Hey, I have something to say. Can I say it? Oh? What is it? Tell us, quickly. I've been out of my private room since 6 a.m. I read a book while doing laundry in the laundry room. and return to my private room shortly after 7 a.m. The transfer student over there should know, don't you? You're referring to Miyuki, right? Yes, that's right. Like, I feel like they want us to suspect her, but I don't suspect her at all. I suspect those others, the ones who were all part of the concert plan. Jumanji then walked past me with her nose buried in the book, seemingly unwilling to continue the conversation. She should look up. I saw her walk out of the laundry room. Oh, sorry, that's me. I saw her walk out of the laundry room. And then I heard people calling, and so I came here. You were out at 6 a.m. You were up really early. So, did you see or hear anything? Jumanji shook her head. Nothing at all. Nothing seen, nothing heard. Was there anything you didn't see or hear because you were too focused on the book? That's unfair. I was paying close attention to the book, but not to that extent. Okay, I guess I'll take that. Jumanji's account has been added. So we've heard everyone's alibi. It's a lot of intricate intersections, but it's all boils down to nobody has a verifiable alibi. Even the person with the longest alibi only has one from 7 a.m. in the end. I don't think we can narrow down the suspects with alibis. So no one has an alibi. No, there's only a few suspects. Don't try to tell me everyone's a suspect. There's no way. There isn't a single person who can prove they weren't there, and the number of suspects still stands at 15. No, it's 4. It's 4. It is, streamer guy, Fukuoka, Tadaira, Misaki. But I don't think it's Misaki. Misaki? I have no idea which way it's pronounced. I don't think it's her. So technically 3 suspects. So there's not 15. Don't even try to go there, game. But watch me get played. Watch me be absolutely wrong and it's not one of those 3. It certainly is that way, but let's not get carried away. The investigation is just beginning. Shikanda, is that everything you need? Yeah, that was very helpful. That's everything. Then we can split up and investigate from here. Please, take care. Everyone's alibi has been added to the e-handbook. The investigation side has begun. In the investigation side, you'll gather clues of what you'll use in the class trial. The clues are collected in your e-handbook in a bullet format. In the menu, you can check how many truth bullets you need, as well as detailed information about them. Note that objects that can yield a truth bullet are marked with special exclamation point marks. Okay, so I am going to end this part here. I just want to say I knew it was going to be Iwata. I had the feeling as soon as they switched protagonists, I was like, he's going to be the first victim. And while I knew that was going to happen, I still grew attached to him, and I'm still sad about it. I really do like him. I think he deserves better than that. I wish we could have stayed as him. I like him better than Miyuki, to be honest. But, I guess we'll see. I don't know. Who do you think is the blackened? If you know, don't tell me. But if you haven't, let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I want to know if you're thinking along the same lines as I am, that there's only really 3 suspects, and it's the 3 other people who were planning the concert, because they would have known that Iwata would have been was supposed to be in that classroom. This is why... Oh, sorry. I have a sudden bad headache. Okay. I'm sorry. What was I saying? Oh, they're the only ones who would have known that he would be in there. And that is why I think that having that section where we were Iwata and we knew what was going to happen with the concert kind of ruined it. I feel like it ruined the suspense and the mystery, because if we didn't know, we stayed as Miyuki and we didn't know about the concert, and Misaki just came running back to us and was like, Iwata's missing. It would have been a more intense chase for him, and finding him would have been more of a shock, and we would have had 15 suspects instead of the 3 that there are. It's either the streamer guy, Tadaira, or Fukuoka. 100%. If I'm wrong, then I'll admit that I was played. But from where I stand right now, I believe that it's one of those 3. And I feel like it would have been better if that whole section about the concert was left out and we didn't know about the concert until later. Until now. Right? I feel like it would have been better. I don't know if you agree with me, but that's how I'm thinking. Yeah. I'm really upset about this. I knew it was gonna happen, but it's still sad. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. In the next part, which will be part 5, we will do the rest of the investigation as well as the trial. So I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to sit and do the whole trial in one sitting, or if I will film it over the course of a couple weeks. It will, however, be in one big video, okay? So the whole trial, always just one video. So whether it comes out soon or it comes out in a week or 2, it depends on if I sit and play the whole thing in one sitting or not. But yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and a comment. We could talk about it. I want to talk about it. I want to know that I'm not crazy for having these thoughts. Also, what do you think about Miyuki and him as the protagonist? What do you think about his past? I can't help but wonder if he's either the ultimate detective or he was part of a killing game before, because he seemed to react to seeing Iwata's body like he'd seen things before, and like he has the sense of deja vu during this investigation. So either he's a detective and he's done investigations, or he's been in a killing game before. That's what I think anyway, but we shall see what happens, I guess. I don't know, but thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry I'm rambling on for minutes and minutes and minutes. I was like, I'm only gonna sit here for an hour. It's been an hour and a half, but okay. It's fine. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.